The merge fractures. Emsky's whole body jerks as a radiant helix of combined power surges too fast, too hard. Light coils spin like a wound spring, snapping against flesh. Golden and violet cracks spider across his skin. Not a smooth bloom, but splintering, as if the fusion itself is ripping him apart. The room fills with the sound of breaking, a grinding, a tear, an impossible rattle. Kalkizadek's face drains white. He plants both hands on Emsky's shoulders, an anchor in the chaos, and speaks with the urgency of a man keeping two worlds from colliding. Slow your breath, do not resist the flow. Emsky claws at the air, each breath shredded. It's too much, he gasps, every syllable a fracture. The half-extracted entity smells weakness and moves like a predator sensing a wound. It thrashes, edges ragged, resuming a form that should not belong here. Its voice, a feral triumph, hisses, "You cannot hold him, not alone, not like this." Tendrils slam into the stone like living iron, anchoring, testing the frame of the room. Panic sharpens into motion. Super A becomes a streak, sprinting with frightening speed, eyes burning with a fierce protective light. He shouts, "No! You stay away from him!" and vaults between Emsky and the writhing presence. Power coalesces at his palms, focused and bright. A thin, stubborn sun. A massive tendril arcs downward like a battering ram. Super A plants himself and meets it head-on with both hands. The impact is volcanic. Boots tear grooves in the floor, dust and shards fly, and an ugly, metallic scream fills the chamber. Pain knits across his face, his muscles blaze. Every vein is a lit wire. Through clenched teeth he roars, "I will not let you touch him." For a breath, the world narrows to that single impossible hold, one desperate human hinge between breaking and something that might yet be saved. Time trembles on the edge of fracture. Emsky's glow shudders behind them, a candle caught in a storm. His knees buckle as the light fractures across his skin, fissures of living energy spiking and dying in rapid succession. Kalkizadek catches him with a god's steadiness, but even that composure fractures into tight, tired lines. A rumble of disbelief threads the air. His mortal form is fracturing. He cannot withstand both my power and his own. Kalkizadek intones, voice like stone warmed by lightning. Emsky gasps. Luminous tears gather at the corners of his eyes, trembling like molten silver. Please don't let go," he whispers, voice cracking, raw and small in the cathedral of chaos. Super A does not turn. He listens. He hears the plea that tethers heart to fate. In blind, urgent motion, he frees one hand and reaches back, fingers searching through the haze. Emsky's hand finds his. When skin meets skin, it clicks, a circuit completed. A pulse runs outward, a stabilization wave that sings through flesh and flame. The fractures ease, the white-hot cracks dim to coals. The shock on Kalkizadek's face is plain and human. He is stabilizing through you, your bond. It is grounding him. A whisper from Vistral sharpens into real understanding. He's his anchor. Super A tightens his grip and pivots, eyes burning toward the entity. His other hand still holds back a writhing tendril, now flaring with the same steady light. "You don't get him. Not his power, not his body, not his life," he says, furious and unyielding. Emsky straightens, breath-finding rhythm. Kalkizadek rises, thunder in his tone, and the entity recoils, sensing that the tide has turned. The thing that wore civility like a mask begins to tear itself open. Half of its body convulses, tendrils pulling inward and then exploding outward in a horrific bloom. Its silhouette shreds like cloth, revealing a towering shape of spiraling void, fractal eyes, and a mouth that splits into impossible geometry. Gold-violet lightning forks around it, drawn to the truth of its nature. A layered, thunderous voice fills the chamber. "You dare bend my claim. You dare defy my right, then witness what you oppose." Kalkizadek tightens his jaw. Even he had not expected this form. Vistral stumbles back, breath caught. A sound like stone ripping tears the air. Super A steps forward, feet digging grooves into ancient stone, fingers gripping Emsky's hand with unyielding force. Emsky straightens. The pain in his face fades into clarity. The glow around him steadies. Kalkizadek moves behind them, palms raised as arcane glyphs spin into orbit, throwing soft light. 3 lights pulse in sync. Super A's fierce burn, Emsky's resonant aura, Kalkizadek's divine halo. Together they become a single line, 3 energies, 1 intent. Kalkizadek murmurs, focused, "On my word." Super A nods. Emsky lifts his free hand and holds his glow as his own. Then the entity lunges, a tidal wave of void that buckles the air. Before a command can land, Emsky squeezes Super A's hand once, grounding himself, and steps forward. His voice rings clear and pure. "I don't belong to you. I choose my own power and who I stand with." The sound strikes like a bell. The void recoils as if burned. Super A looks at Emsky with stunned pride. Kalkizadek whispers, barely audible, he's in full control. Kalkizadek thrusts both hands forward. "Now!" At his command, motion snaps sharp and precise. Super A and Emsky move together, their footsteps and breath synchronized as if they'd trained a lifetime in a single instant. Light bleeds from each of them, Emsky's harmonic core force, Super A's protective kinetic burst, Kalkizadek's divine resonance, 3 colors weaving. The energies fold and spiral, coiling into a single ascending helix that hums like a cathedral bell. The air shudders with a single terrible note. Vral. A caption blooms in silver fire, not 3 powers stacked but 1 power awakened. The helix slams into the entity's true form. Fractal flesh trembles and contorts, scales and facets bending, as if made of living glass. Pieces buckle inward, collapsing with agonized echoes, a chorus of a dozen voices crying out. The entity howls, No answer should hold against me, no mortal will should." But the beam does not relent. Emsky's grip on Super A never loosens. Super A, teeth clenched but smiling, says, "You're facing him now. All of him." The force drives the entity backward. Its shape cracks like stained glass under pressure. Emsky steps forward, his glow steady and true. Kalkizadek rises behind, wings of light unfurling. His voice rings, final and resonant. "This fracture becomes your end." In the heart of the vaulted chamber, the merged entity snaps toward a new target. The tri-layer beam slams into it and sends a shock through the air, but the being does not shatter. Instead, it folds like living metal, collapsing inward, a void collapsing into itself. All of its eyes swivel, black and burning, and for a fragmented second they fix on Vistral. A voice like cracked glass and wild hunger splinters from the creature. "If I cannot claim the merged, I will take the one who opened the door." Vistral freezes as if struck. He understands, too late, that the threat is personal. Then movement, jagged and sudden. A tendril of void tears free, unspooling from the pressure of the beam. It lashes across the chamber with whip-fast speed, a streak of shadow that hisses and snaps. Vistral staggers, hands fumbling for his tools, panic erasing calculation. Wait, no," he protests, but the tendril curls like a hook for his chest. Emsky flares first. His glow sputters with alarm. He shouts Vistral's name and Super A's head whips toward the motion, voice taut. "He's going for Vistral!" Kalkizadek lifts a hand, muscles straining to redirect the tri-beam, but there is no time. "We cannot pivot fast enough," he growls. Vistral pulls a compact lattice from his belt and slams it open. A fractured shield of hexagonal blue panels snaps into being. The tendril slams home with a metallic, tearing cry. The shield fractures instantly, cracks spiderwebbing across the light. Vistral's face collapses inward, not with fear, but with a raw, terrible regret. I didn't mean for this to happen," he whispers, as the shadow finds its mark. The hex barrier implodes like spun glass. Blue lattice fractures with a sound like 1,000 chimes. Shards of light skittering across the floor. A black tendril, rhymed in void sigil, lashes forward, inches from Vistral's heart. Breath stops. The air tastes of iron. A hand of pure gold light smashes down between them with a metal thunder. Kalkizadek appears in a blink, palms shimmering, intercepting the blow. "You will not claim another vessel!" His voice booms, ancient and immediate. The impact drives him back. His boots gouge furrows in the stone. The tendril recoils, then coils with intent, black runes crawling along its skin. It presses, probing for cracks in divine armor. The void wrap tightens around Kalkizadek's forearm, sigils pulsing like hungry moths. A god's flesh is still a door. Open, open to me, the entity hisses, voice like ice on glass. It wants to burrow, adapt, possess. Melchizedek's eyes flare gold, a furnace of defiance. You dare attempt ingress through me? He roars. But the strain is written in his stance. This assault is cunning, adaptive, meant to crawl inside. Vistral trembles, a cold realization settling in his chest. He whispers, hardly hearing himself. It doesn't need a willing host. The room tilts. From the flank, Super A and Emsky split formation, sprinting toward the struggle. Kalik, hold on. Super A's voice rips raw with panic. Emsky releases his grip, palms blooming with pure, undistorted light, steady and clear. We won't let it take anyone, Emsky says, focused. Their combined aura swells, blades of radiance arcing forward. They aim for the tendril's chokehold, preparing a single surgical strike to sever the dark-reaching hand and save what remains of Melchizedek's sanctity. Around them, the splintered hex glass shivers, each shard a heartbeat, every flicker a possible breach. They have to move now, quickly.